Welcome to a new planetary and seismic update. For the previous time frame, I anticipated seismic activity above average. You see the huge convergence of planetary and lunar geometry. So not just one cluster. I anticipated increased seismic activity throughout this time frame. And if you look what we actually had, we see really this is 5.5 and larger. Keep that in mind. These are the stronger earthquakes. And this is not just a single temporal cluster. We see increased activity, especially in the first half of this entire time frame. Seismic activity way above average. And it peaked 6.9 Antofagasta, Chile, here later on the 25th with the lunar peaks. And speaking of these lunar peaks, the solid green peaks, these are the lunar conjunctions and oppositions. And if you look at those peaks here on the 20th, it was followed by a 6.6 on the southern East Pacific rise. Nobody noticed that. It was off the coast, way off the coast of South America. And here with the two lunar peaks on the 25th, 26th, 6.9 Antofagasta, Chile, and also two magnitude 6 earthquakes on the western Indian Antarctic ridge that is south of Australia. So we see the strongest seismic activity with those solid green peaks, and this is often the case. And then we had this very rare planetary geometry, extremely rare, on the 27th, 28th, followed by another lunar peak here. This is the moon in alignment with Mars in opposition. This was the specific geometry in case you missed the previous video. Really rare planetary geometry. Mars in the crosshairs, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, and Venus, Mars, Neptune. Only 2 hours, less than 2 hours apart, and then the next day followed by the moon in opposition with Mars. But so far, seismic activity, the stronger earthquakes, 5.5 and larger, almost completely dropped. Starting on the 27th, 28th. This is very interesting to observe. If we look at the coming time frame, we're already in there, of course. We had only had one 5.6 magnitude earthquake here at the Windward Islands. This is directly the result of the lunar geometry that we had yesterday, a convergence of lunar geometry. So if you look at the last 3 days, no strong earthquakes at all. Seismic activity completely dropped. As far as the stronger earthquakes, the 5.5 and larger earthquakes are concerned. We do have a full moon and also a blue moon today. Some convergence. It converges with Venus, Mars, Saturn in an alignment. If you look back at the planetary geometry, we had Venus, Mars, Neptune, then Venus moves counterclockwise and then aligns with Mars and Saturn, and that's happening today with the full moon. Because we didn't have obvious seismic response to that very rare planetary geometry on the 27th, 28th, keep in mind it can happen within 4.5–5 days top. And that means that we still could see stronger seismic activity, possibly later today or tomorrow, following the convergence that we have here. It's very interesting that we only have one 5.6 so far. So keep that in mind and be on extra alert. We have some convergence on the 2nd of June. This is when the moon is in an opposition with Mercury, while Mercury will be in alignment with the Sun and Venus. That is probably going to result in a borderline 6, maybe low 6 magnitude earthquake here on the 2nd or 3rd. Then we have the moon in opposition with Venus later on the 3rd. Followed by the moon in an opposition with Jupiter early on the 4th. And it very much depends on the seismic activity that we're going to have in the first couple of days. And because there could be a stronger seismic event on the 4th or 5th following the moon's opposition with Jupiter. But again, that really depends on the seismic activity in the next couple of days. Then we have Mercury, Sun, Neptune early on the 7th. That is a single alignment on itself, not really critical. We could see some seismic response there. We have some lunar peaks, but I don't see a really critical convergence there right now. So this is what we're going to have. We have most of the convergence really yesterday and today happening, and also here on the 2nd, and the lunar peak. Keep an eye on this lunar peak as well. There can be some temporal clustering, and it could be a stronger seismic event following especially the moon's opposition with Jupiter. Check out the latest updates on the website and also in our social media. Stay safe everyone, and until next time.